Hey you guys, today's AIM lesson is about preparing for the storm. We talked about the storm yesterday, and today we're going to discuss things that we needed in preparation for that windstorm. As you can imagine, people were a little bit panicked because they were telling us, the weathermen were telling us that we were going to have a severe windstorm. So I went down to try and pick up things. Of course, the shelves were barren, kind of like what we see right now. But I was able to pick up a few things. For us, we needed Coleman fuel. This was very difficult to get at that time. They were out, but thankfully we did have a few on hand. Lots of batteries that we would need for a flashlight, candles. We also had lanterns, oil lanterns at that time, and most of those are now gone. Well, my daughter actually borrowed them long term. So we also had lantern fuel. And then I had to consider meals because we were going to be cooking on a wood stove. I had to do things that were really simple. So I picked up things like mac and cheese, soups, and tamales. And also, I had made sure we had lots of peanut butter because I could easily do those in sandwiches. And then I had a couple of gallons of water that we could use right away, and then I could refill them whenever I had to go down and get more water at the farm. So that's kind of was our main list. But also, I had to ensure that I had chocolate. Now, I know you know that I'm kind of addicted to them, but I wanted to make sure that we had plenty. The other thing, the practical thing that I had to have was ice, because we did have a freezer at that time, but if the power went out, we would need ice chests filled. So I had to make sure we had ice. So I picked that up, and I just kind of an idea of some of the things that I might have in there just to make sure was, oh, chocolate. Chocolate. I'm sure the kids were probably the ones who asked for that. Oh, and more chocolate. And drinks like soda and things like that we would have, and I knew we'd have to have milk, so I made sure that we had that available. So that's kind of the bare necessities that I knew that we would need ahead of time. We also, a couple other things that we did, we made sure the cars had fuel, because we didn't know how far spread this would be. So our cars had fuel, and we were ready just in case. So what we're going to do now, what I'm going to ask you to do, is to think about a list of things you would need if you were going to face a storm. What things would you set aside that you would need? So that's the list you need to make, and send that to us. We'll see you after a while. Bye, guys.